Imagine walking through a peaceful weekend farmer's market, fresh bread, warm sun, crowds laughing. And hearing your daughter's voice crack through the noise. "Mom, help, they won't let me leave." 6 older women. Surrounding her. Screaming at her. Calling her unchristian, selfish, heartless. All because she refused to call the same grandparents who nearly tore our lives apart. They cornered my daughter. They didn't know that by doing that, they triggered the one thing I spent a year avoiding. Revenge. And I was about to destroy every lie they'd told. In front of their entire church. If you've ever watched someone weaponize religion, guilt, or lies to hurt innocent people, and wish they'd get exactly what they deserve, hit that like button and subscribe. This story might be the darkest, most satisfying revenge I've ever shared. Full narrative, dark, slow burn, 1200 plus words. Let me start at the beginning. Because this story isn't just about 6 women at a farmer's market. It started the day my ex-husband died. The death that didn't end anything. My ex and I were in the middle of a divorce when he passed away. An accident. Tragic, yes. But not shocking. The man lived like consequences were suggestions. For years, our marriage had been a battlefield of secrets. He cheated. Frequently. I suspected it. But nothing could prepare me for what our daughters found. 2 baby boys. Both from his long-term affair partner. And as if fate was mocking us. She died too. 4 lives shattered in one instant. My daughters, and those 2 boys who suddenly had no parents. He left behind devastation. And ironically, his parents blamed us. The ex-in-laws from hell. His parents, let's call them Harold and Margaret, weren't grieving. No. They were planning. Planning to take custody of my daughters. Planning to move into my home. Planning to force us to raise my ex's affair babies as a blended family. Their words, not mine. The girls were traumatized. And they were in therapy trying to process everything. But Harold and Margaret twisted it. They called my daughters heartless for not wanting to play big sister to the children born from their father's betrayal. They even blamed my daughters for my ex's death. 2 days after he died. Margaret texted my girls. "If you hadn't told your mother about the affair, your father would still be alive. You should pray for forgiveness." 17 and 15. That's how old my girls were. And this woman called them bastards. I never forgot that message. I saved everything. The market incident. Fast forward to my youngest's birthday. A beautiful day. Warm sunlight. Farmers selling fresh produce. It felt normal. For the first time in a long time, we felt normal. I gave her some money and let her enjoy herself, chocolates, treats, little handmade things. After an hour, she hadn't come back. I felt that old pull in my stomach, anxiety squeezing my lungs. Then my phone vibrated. "Mom, please, come now." Her voice was shaking. Broken. I ran. My oldest ran with me. We found her backed into a corner wall. 6 older women surrounding her like a pack. Their faces twisted, their fingers pointing. "You're unchristian. You're abandoning your grandparents. You should take care of your poor orphaned baby brothers." My daughter's eyes were red. She looked so small. So scared. And something inside me, something I'd held back for months, cracked. The breaking point. I stepped between them and my daughter. My voice. Cold. Sharp. A blade. "Take one more step toward her, and you're going to regret it." Some of them recognized me. Church members from my ex-in-law's congregation. Instead of backing down, they doubled down. "You're a disgrace. Your daughters are disrespectful. A good Christian wife would obey her husband's parents." One woman actually said, "You should be taking in your husband's babies." God sent them to you. I physically felt my pulse in my jaw. My hands were shaking, not with fear. With rage. We were escorted out of the market like criminals. These women stalking me to my car, still lecturing. Still demanding we bow to Harold and Margaret. My daughters were silent on the drive home. Both of them staring out the window. Hurt. Humiliated. Confused. That night, after they finally fell asleep, I opened my computer. And I saw it. The lie. Margaret's post in their church Facebook group. A story so dramatic, so manipulative. It could have won awards. According to her, I had driven them into homelessness, stolen money from them, cut them off from their beloved granddaughters, kidnapped the girls, abandoned the 2 baby boys, lied to everyone about her great son. And then, the final twist. She claimed the affair partner was our surrogate. And I rejected the babies because they were boys. My hands went numb. I actually had to reread it 3 times because I couldn't believe the level of delusion. But here's the thing. Their church hates cheating. Like, violently hates it. So how did she hide the fact that her son fathered 2 kids with another woman? She blamed me. That was the moment. Sitting there in the dark. The glow of the computer screen reflecting off the tears I didn't even realize were falling. I felt something shift. A quiet kind of fury. The kind that doesn't scream. The kind that plans. I whispered to myself. Enough. The plan. I was still legally mid-divorce when he died. Which meant everything I collected. Every picture, every text, every email. Was still legally mine to release. The next morning, I drove to a print shop. I paid extra for high-quality, glossy prints. Photos of my ex cheating. Screenshots of his sexting conversations. Messages from Harold and Margaret admitting they knew. Their harassment toward me. Their bullying of my daughters. The bastard's text. The message blaming my daughters for their father's death. Every ugly truth. Dozens of pages. Then I went home and crafted personalized binders. Designed to look exactly like the little prayer packets the church gives out. Soft cover. Plain. Harmless. Inside? Hell. The very first page was a full-color photo of my ex and his affair partner making out in our living room. Their faces crystal clear. Under it, I wrote. The true love story of ex-husband and affair partner. Then I delivered 20 copies. Placed them neatly on the table with the songbooks. No one checks them. The explosion. The gossip mill detonated within an hour. People in the Facebook group were furious. Hurt. Humiliated. Disgusted. Even the pastor had to step in because the comments got so vicious they were nearly NC-17. Harold and Margaret were suddenly exposed. Not as grieving grandparents. But as enablers of their son's infidelity. As bullies. As liars. 2 church members mailed apology letters to my daughters. The church invited me back to receive support in my time of hardship. And Harold and Margaret? They left the church. Shunned. Embarrassed. Desperate for sympathy. Margaret posted. I feel so alone. No one cares for the elderly anymore. She claimed her son, her great man, would have taken care of them. With what money? I was the breadwinner. Their son didn't leave them broke. He left them exposed. And finally. Just to twist the knife. My ex had secretly left everything to his parents. Not our daughters. He lied to us even after death. But karma doesn't forget. And that day at the church? Karma sang louder than their hymns. The image of church members opening those binders. Mouths dropping. Hands over their chests. Voices whispering. Is something I will never forget. Margaret's face when she realized the congregation knew everything? Priceless. They wanted to humiliate my daughters? They ended up humiliating themselves. Sometimes justice doesn't come from courts or prayers. Sometimes it comes from telling the truth. To the exact people someone lied to. My daughters finally feel safe. And the people who cornered them at that market? They'll think twice before ever using faith as a weapon again. If this story shook you even half as much as it shook me, hit that like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments. What's the darkest lie you've ever seen someone exposed for? More stories coming soon. And trust me, karma never sleeps.